Yes, the thing that only eats hippies. All right, how are you? Welcome back to 90.1 WECS, Willimantic. Now on to the next monumental interview of today. The Dead Milkmen is an American satirical punk rock band formed in 1983 in Philadelphia. Their original lineup consisted of vocalist and keyboardist Rodney Anonymous, guitarist and vocalist Joe Jack Talcum, bassist Dave Blood, and drummer Dean Clean. The band disbanded themselves amid the local underground hardcore, distinguished themselves amid the local underground hardcore scene of the early 80s through their jangly punk sound and sardonic humor delivered with thick Philadelphia accents. They attracted college radio attention, including this show right here, starting in 1985 with the debut album Big Lizard in My Backyard and the song Bitchin' Camaro. Extensive touring and further releases helped the band quickly garner an underground following. And since then, it's been an amazing career, hasn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Joe, how are you?
Oh, I'm okay, hanging in there. How are you?
Excellent. Now,
Cool.
as I mentioned, I've been doing this show for over 20 years now, and one of the early bands that I used to play was the Dead Milkmen. They were the hot band when I was in high school. A friend of mine turned me on to you, and been listening ever since.
Thanks.
Do you see the band as leaving an indelible blot on the American indie music culture?
I guess so.
How has it been over the past X number of years? Have you really been enjoying the ride?
There's some ups and downs, but yeah, it's like any ride. It's been good. Especially the past year or so, we've been busier than ever.
Oh, good, because you just got back together for a tour this year, right?
We got back together to make. We made an album in 2011, and we've already and since then we've released 3 singles. We have 3 new singles out. The latest one is called "The Great Boston Molasses Flood," and you can get it on our website, deadmilkmen.com.
Based on a true story, right?
It's based on a true story that happened in 1919 in Boston. Unfortunately, it's a tragic story. I think 11 or so people were killed when a big, huge container of molasses ruptured and people knocked some people over.
And to honor them, you're now doing a satirical punk song about them, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, right, we wrote a song about it, and to honor that release of this, we're doing a little tour in the New England area, including in Boston, which will be a week from tonight.
Excellent. I spend most of my time interviewing new bands, and I end up asking questions to get a sense of what the band sounds like for those who have not heard of the band. But for you, I mean, you're living legends. What was it like back in the 90s trying to get back into the day-to-day routine for you? What was it like? Well, did you get a sense that the music industry was changing at the time in the late 80s, early 90s?
Well, the music industry tried to, didn't really want to have anything to do with us at first.
Because you're a bunch of punk kids, right?
Yeah. But unfortunately, or through some crazy mishap, we had a hit single called Punk Rock Girl, and then everything went downhill.
for America. Did you get a lot of flack from people like, I don't know, maybe Rush Limbaugh or anybody out there who thinks they know what the world's supposed to be like?
No, I've never met the guy, actually.
Good.
So I don't know. I don't know if he knows of our existence or not. Hopefully he's upset with us.
But I mean, did you get a lot of flack? You get a lot of criticism for being a bunch of punk kids
from our folks. Our folks were no.
or from anybody, from critics or from society in general.
Honestly, no, not really.
Oh man, you're dispelling the myth. Oh well.
I'm destroying the myth. I know. Maybe I remember things a lot better than what they really were.
Because when we were listening to it in high school, our parents didn't want us to listen to that junk. That's all right. Wiki legend has it that you started out in your bedroom with recordings of on an old cassette player. Do you remember what kind of cassette player that was?
J.C. Penney. I forget. I think it was MCS or something like that. It was their brand. That was the original cassette. If it makes any difference to anybody, it was part of a component system.
I got mine at Radio Shack at Tandy.
Oh, great! I had a Radio Shack 8-track cartridge recorder.
Nice. While doing my research on YouTube, I watched a video of you playing Punk Rock Girl live in front of an audience, and they started singing along. And most of the time, I would think that's really cool. But do you feel it's a cool tribute to have an audience singing your song along with you?
Of course, that's I almost expect it these days.
When I saw it, I felt it was kind of ironic because punk usually involves an audience throwing beer bottles at the band or spitting on them or doing stuff. And, they had this bunch of middle-aged people singing right along with you. It was cool, though. Yeah,
I actually think because the punk music that I like a lot usually has sing-along choruses, things where that oi style, whoa, whoa. Like Ramones have a lot of catchy stuff where you can sing sha-la-la-la, stuff like that.
I often mix your Punk Rock Girl with Sheena is a Punk Rocker.
There you go. I can't imagine not singing to that. It's so catchy.
Yes, very catchy. So, being in the business for so long, do you feel like you've all grown up now?
No.
Good.
I don't think I've grown up at all. I think some of us have, though. I think two of us are married, with not to each other, but to wives
with kids
and kids.
Are the kids growing up and rebelling against you?
Kids are probably more mature than we are.
It usually skips a generation, right?
It does.
Oh, man, that's cool. Joe, I appreciate you calling up. You're going to be playing, like you just said, on the 20th at the Sinclair in Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is a great place to see a show. And also on Sunday, the 21st, at the Bowery Ballroom in New York City.
That's right. And for those of the people who aren't 18 or younger or something, we're playing in Newbury Comics on Record Store Day. Well, that's Saturday.
Right on Newbury Street.
No, in the Norwood, Massachusetts one.
Oh, okay.
So that's around 2 p.m. in the afternoon before the Sinclair show.
Oh, that's cool. Because when I was doing on YouTube, I saw you guys performing in like a little cramped place. And it sounded really good. So that
you want to see us perform in a cramped place? Well, actually, I think that store is not so cramped, but we'll do it. We're doing a mini set, and it's free, and it's Record Store Day, so there's no reason not to come out.
That's right. The 20th is Record Store Day. Yep.
And we're going to have all three of our singles. They're 7-inch vinyl singles. We're going to have them with us. So come out.
Excellent. Definitely will be checking that out. What better way to celebrate Record Store Day on April 20th than to go check out the Dead Milkmen at Newbury Comics. Come on, folks. Unbelievable. I wish you could come down to one of our Newbury Comics. We have one not too far from here.
Oh.
Maybe someday. Maybe someday. All right. So thanks a lot, Joe. You are wonderful. Keep up the great work, and I owe a great deal of gratitude for you for my teen days and listening to some music that parents didn't like.